Weather Authority meteorologist Ron Rhodes.
Ah, yes. It is time for a life hack.
It is time
the
for a life
highlight of our day.
Yes, indeed.
Never.
Is it really? Is it really?
I don't think once I've said some life hack here. I thought that is really a good piece of information that I carry with me the rest of my life.
Yeah, me
Not
too.
once.
Me too.
This might be the first one, though. It is the 31st day of July, last of July. Out and need to go to the bathroom suddenly. Well, this happened a couple of times in Europe, where it's like, I've got to go to the bathroom. They have pay restrooms here, by the way. Do you know that? Public restrooms.
Yes, I do.
No. Use the Flushed app. And oh, by the way, it is Flushed, F-L-U-S-H-D. There's no E there, so a lot of English teachers are going to have a problem with that.
There's an app.
It's called Flushed. It will show you the nearest bathroom and a user-based rating of it. You get a rating of the bathroom.
Okay, now that might be handy.
That actually could be something that would come in handy, right? Because I don't like to use public bathrooms any more than anybody else.
Nobody does, but I mean, sometimes,
if it's got a good rating,
you know, sometimes
you gotta go.
I'm not going to stop long enough to go, okay.
If I have to use a restroom, I'm usually in a restaurant, you know, and it's like, I mean, it's like, okay, I'll go to the bathroom here, and it's usually pretty good, usually.
But, in France, of course, it's a little narrow, whatever. You're going up the back or down in the basement, but hey, listen,
paying for it.
Sometimes you pay for it.
That's right.
But I'll check
Euro,
that out.
please, €1.
The flushed app.
Don't put an E in there. They've got no time for being grammatically correct. Let's take a look outside right now at our Diamond Valley Federal Credit Union camera. That's Deaconess Gateway, of course, looking out toward the east side of town. And looks like no problems to me as we look at the haze in the air, though. That milky blue sky, kind of like a mix of sun and clouds, kind of all smeared together. Nothing impressive there. Looking a little more impressive, though, down in Central City. That blue is a little bluer. That's our Austin Holmes camera, of course. Looking out toward Highway 431. And final stop, as per usual, is downtown. Of course, Angie's stomping grounds. You can see the humidity on the lens. And this is one of those weeks where you step outside, you know, from the air conditioning, you got glasses on, they're fogging up a little bit, almost immediately. So, yeah, that's going to continue on for another couple of days. But then we do get a break as we head into the weekend. 89 right now. Check out the dew point. That is steamy, 77. Now, we do have a breeze out there from the west-northwest, though, at 8 miles an hour. It's going to be mainly from the southwest today, and at times from the west. But, yeah, it's going to be in the 5 to 10 mile per hour range, but closer to 10 than 5. So nice to have a little bit more of a breeze today than what we had yesterday. Of course, yesterday we had the big thunderstorm, so we got plenty of wind. That wasn't a problem. It was in between, though. We weren't getting much of a breeze. But, yeah, had a peak wind gust at the Evansville Airport of 53 miles an hour. But I guarantee you some of those storms that went through Warwick County last night, including in my backyard, it was a lot more than that. I'd say better than 70 mile per hour winds, straight line winds is what we had. Possible tornado. And it basically was between Chandler and Paradise. And Paradise is where Castle High School is. I mean, it's basically Newburgh. So that's where it looked like the strongest winds were, and the rotation was. They got a team, the National Weather Service does, surveying that site today. We should find out later on today if it was a tornado after all. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if it's straight line wind damage, it's a lot of damage to be had. It's 86 in Jasper, a little cooler up to the northeast. Most of us, though, upper 80s, 88 degrees rather in Calhoun, 87 Henderson, 88 in Morganfield is down to 89. It's 88 in Owensboro and 89 degrees right now in Carmine. Morganfield was at 90 degrees. I guess a few clouds kind of passed over, cooled it off just temporarily, right? Dew point wise, look at all the yellow out there indicating a lot of 70s, even an 80-degree dew point in Morganfield, probably by a cornfield or a soybean field where there's a lot of transpiration going on. So there's some more moisture in the air when you get out there by, if you have your gauge by a farm field. Steamy with that 77-degree dew point, solidly in that steamy range right now. So we're beyond very humid. Great shot right here from Connor Davis of Newburgh. Got the storm as it was moving in. Very impressive cloud structure right there. Looks like a shelf cloud down there. And look at that lightning bolt as it comes down from the sky. That is awesome. Connor Davis is son of one of our producers, Jeff Davis. So Connor, thank you so much for that. And Kenny Horn, a buddy of ours, used to work here at the station as a photographer. He was out after the storms before it got dark and checking out the scene. And look at this, one of the trees that was just snapped in half by those strong winds. Of course, some of these trees, especially if you get those, you know, Bradford pear trees, I mean, they're big, they're good shade trees, but they're a little top heavy with the thinner trunks and more easily snapped over. And they definitely were. A lot of them out there overnight, or I should say late yesterday afternoon and early evening. So you got a big swath of green out there indicating better than 1 inch of rain yesterday. Where you see the yellow also better than 2 inches. We set a rainfall record at the Evansville Airport, 1.6 inches of rain. So we've never had more rain on July 30th than that, and our records date back to the 1800s, so they go back a long ways. Anyway, looks like everybody got a pretty good dousing Still have that severe thunderstorm watch out until noon, and that is for Clay, Richland, and Lawrence counties to the north. A lot of these storms, though, to the north have been basically, they were moving southeast. They kind of shifted more to the east. And you can see those thunderstorms really starting to weaken, too, as they've moved into Indiana. We are seeing some thunderstorms kind of firing up a little bit more now in central Illinois. They were weakening. Now they're pulsing back up just a little bit as they move to the southeast. Looks like that batch could be hitting us. And we've got another round of thunderstorms kind of firing up behind that. So it could be a little more active later on this afternoon after a fairly tranquil start. We're going to zoom in on these storms, especially this little line here. Along the leading edge, we might have some gusty winds. Nothing severe right now, but it is moving. It looks like it could be grazing some of our northern counties, Clay, Richland, and Lawrence, perhaps, and Knox, Davies, and Martin counties there in Indiana. So, yeah, it's something to keep our eyes on. Once again, as we take a look at future track, a latest run is indicating some showers and thunderstorms kind of pushing into the Evansville metro and for much of the tri-state scattered about. Not nearly as all-encompassing as what we had yesterday, right around 6, 7 o'clock. In the evening, you see those thunderstorms still there until about 8, 9 o'clock before things start to settle down for most of us, but still kind of firing up to the east overnight. And as we head into Thursday, got another chance for some more thunderstorms. I think mainly in the afternoon, though, on Thursday. And you can see those thunderstorms along and north of the Ohio for the most part before they sink to the south as we head into Friday. And Friday's when we have our cool front that's going to move through and spell it into a lot of these storms. It's going to spell it into a little bit of the heat and the humidity. Those are both going to drop as we head into the weekend. Yellow on the board indicating a slight risk for severe weather again today for the northeastern half. The tri-state does include Evansville, Henderson, and Owensboro, and really points to the northeast from there. As we take a look at the threats, yes, northeast quarter, an isolated tornado threat, so really not much of one there. An isolated large hail threat to the northwest, but for all of us, you've got some sort of damaging wind threat, and for a lot of us, it's a 15%, so a level 2 damaging wind threat. That'll be later on this afternoon. 96 for a high today, though, before the storms hit. Mix of sunshine and clouds, feeling like 100 to 110. Heat advisories out for most of us. Excessive heat warning south and west of Evansville with these scattered thunderstorms. Very humid, if not steamy. On the 3-degree guarantee, called for a high yesterday of 95, got up to 93. You know that works for Scott Britt of Evansville. Congratulations, Scott. You got yourself an umbrella courtesy of Ackerman Chiropractic. Come on by the station and pick it up. Going to get hotter tomorrow and still a chance for some more thunderstorms. We do cool off those we head into the weekend. Not a lot, but a little bit. Upper 80s it looks like on Saturday, low 90s on Sunday. Humid, but not V-humid. So there you go. Looking pretty good. Looked good last night after the storms.
Oh, yeah. Look
this
at that.
was in Owensboro. Red Sky at night, Sailor's Delight. Amber Deitch got that great shot.
Yeah, that is a great shot. And speaking of great, the great Jim Johnson is up next. He's got all kinds of good stuff over there.